You are tuned into the hippest radio station in the Tri-City area, WAWL 103.5. This is Walk the Beat, dedicated to bringing you the latest in musical talent from our very own West Michigan area. I'm Dave Palmer, your host of Walk the Beat, and we are at Third Coast Music with Ben McNeil from the Deep Greens and Blues band.
Deep Greens and Blues, you got it. Yep.
I love it. I mean, you guys do have a nice sound. I telling everybody right now, be ready for at least 3 real good songs for the next half hour.
Yeah, we certainly hope so. That's our goal.
Oh, yeah, definitely. In fact, I was just saying how close you were on the very first year that Walk the Beat put the event on a couple years ago, that you submitted a best song. And how close the voting was.
And
on
we
that.
had no idea. I mean, until just now when we sat down, and now I'm secretly really bummed out.
Well, just so you know, the very first Walk the Beat, we had 100 days from the time that we became nonprofit again. I had to straighten things out, to putting on that event. There was almost 500 people involved with it.
It's an unreal undertaking, and I remember Rick that first year too. We talked a lot, and he was just totally running around crazy.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Our friend Rick Van Wielden. He just left, but I'm so glad that he contacted us together, or connected us together.
Absolutely, yeah.
So thanks for showing up for the Walk the Beat radio
program.
program.
I appreciate you having me here. This is awesome.
Now, you are also a local merchant right here in Grand Haven area.
Yeah, so I'm kind of a jack of all trades, master of none in the Spring Lake Grand Haven area. I've got the Wet Mitten Surf Shop right down in Chinook Pier.
Right.
And then I have a real estate brokerage in
Spring
Lake
that.
also. And then I moonlight as an amateur non-rock star.
Well, I don't know about, you might be amateur, but you're definitely a rock star, man. You even look like a rock star.
It's a state of mind, right?
Yeah, you bet. I actually agree with that. So, Deep Greens and Blues, how many guys you got in the band, or is there women?
So there's 4 of us in the band. The original 3 were Travis, who's guitar, vocals, Jason, who plays bass for us, and then Kelsey, who is our lead female vocalist. Nice. So these guys were together for a couple years from 2011 to 2013 as kind of a trio, figuring out their sound. And I think the original idea for them was to just kind of be a very nice, acoustic vocal trio. And I had met Travis before, which was funny because I was trolling. I moved back to Grand Haven in 2011 from Denver, and I said, you know what, I'm ready to start playing music again. It was one of those things. So, Of course, what do? You go on Craigslist. Who needs a drummer?
Yeah, all right.
So I was on Craigslist, and I saw Travis's ad, and I knew it was him, but I responded as a joke anyways, and I said, hey, you want to jam? So anyways, I joined those guys, played our first gig all together as Deep Greens and Blues in 2013.
So it wasn't that long ago.
No, just a couple years, yeah.
Well, you guys pulled it together pretty quick. You must have submitted that song not too long after.
Yep. Yeah, that was pretty. Well, those guys had come out with a full-length album in 2011 called Back to Home, and that was the track we submitted was Back to Home, so that was the title track off that album.
Nice tune, man.
It was a great tune, and credit to Travis for writing it, and that was kind of the track where we took that and said, okay, this is kind of what we're going for. You find that
you got to kind of find your thing.
Yep.
Yes, right.
So
well, nice. So you're continuing to work on that type of a program.
Yeah, that type of program.
Or format, I guess.
Yeah,
would be the word.
Yep. So it's 4 of us mainly, and then for this album, we were so fortunate, or the new album that we'll talk about in a second. We were so fortunate to bring in so many other awesome musicians to play with us.
Oh, great.
It's a truly humbling experence when you think you know how to play, and then you bring in real players to play with you in the studio.
You hang around Third Coast Music here, and you want to be humbled. All you got, take a minute.
Yep.
There's plenty of great players. What's so spectacular about West Michigan, as far as music goes. There are musicians around here that will knock your socks off.
And it's crazy, yeah, and I totally agree. And you wouldn't think, when you think of big music and art centers, of course you think of big cities, you know, whether it's LA or New York, or if I want to make anything out of this, I have to go to Nashville, or whatever all the canned lines are. But I just don't think it's true anymore. I think this is an unbelievable area to be a part of the arts community, the music community.
Definitely.
So we feel very fortunate to be here.
And the one thing about this area, I have never met, but maybe a handful of musicians that aren't supportive of another musician.
Yep.
We want to help each other around here. And in fact, I was just talking to a mother whose daughter is in LA with music, and she goes, the culture around here for music is so much different. Everybody's for themselves.
Yeah, I can imagine it's a little more cutthroat.
They're not collaborating together, which means they're not producing the ultimate music that they could.
Yep.
Because you know how it works. You bump into people that all of a sudden your musical talents gel.
Yep.
And when they don't. When it doesn't, and it seems weird because you could have two perfectly capable musicians on their own or doing their genre of whatever it's going to be, and then you get those two people together, it just doesn't click.
Yep, absolutely.
And then there's other times you're going, oh man, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear what just happened?
Yep.
And it is pretty cool, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
when it comes out right, you're just going, man. And some people don't understand, if it's a little off, you know it. Mm-hmm. And when it's really in the pocket, it just gels.
Yep, man. Absolutely. And to your point, that's how musicians and artists connect, is through that medium of music.
Correct.
So, just like other people would meet somebody on the sidewalk and shake hands and have a conversation and say, and then you kind of walk away saying, oh, we could be friends, or maybe, whatever.
Sure.
That's how musicians are playing music together. You're communicating through that medium, and you can tell immediately if you have a musical relationship with another player or not.
Correct. And it's just been phenomenal.
Yep.
Everybody around. So I'm so glad that you're part of it.
Absolutely.
And you're also not only a musician, but a business owner.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. It's hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
It does. being self-employed.
Yeah, and
itself is stepping into a different world, and anybody who's not self-employed, they can't quite understand it.
Yeah, being self-employed and then doing the music thing at night and weekends, and and effectively as that grows, and Travis and I, our guitar player and singer, we've noticed that more so this year than anything. It starts to turn into its own little business. And then, you're running 3 businesses, and it's kind of burning the candle at both ends as far as lifestyle goes, but I don't think I'd have it any other way. We love it.
Okay. All right. Here, while you were talking, I'm trying to figure out which songs we're going to be listening to. So I forgot to ask you, I was giving you a little tour around Third Coast Music here, and I forgot to ask you what the 3 songs are. What are the 3 songs we're going to be talking about today?
So I picked 3. There's a lot of different types of tracks on the album, and so I tried to pick one of kind of 3 different feels.
Very good.
So the first one we're going to listen to is Canyon Bound, which I guess you could argue is the title track. It's the first track on the album. It kind of sets the tone. And Canyon Bound is, it's really a sort of carefree song in a way. It's not super heavy. It's kind of got a country feel, and it's really just about, Travis always says when he introduces it, he says, this is about going out west, but more in broader terms, just getting outside, breath of fresh air, let life go. So
Colorado just happened to be the picture that was in his head,
exactly.
But the whole thing is to get the feel. And I understand there are songs that are definitely put together, even if the words don't make any sense, you want that feel.
Yep.
So you shoot for that, and then hopefully the lyrics really kick it in gear.
Yep, absolutely.
So are you guys are you guys all collaborating on a lot of this stuff, or is it basically Jason's puts this together and then you follow the format?
So Travis is definitely the primary songwriter, and so he's the one putting together most of the songs, and then he'll kind of bring us a concept with lyrics.
Correct,
and everybody does their input. I started writing, so I'm 29 now. I started writing music also when I was 15 or 16. So I had quite a bit of material when I joined the band, but I didn't want to step on any toes.
Sure.
When you get into a situation like that, you kind of want to see, okay, what are these guys about? What are they? You don't want to start, inserting yourself in the situation too quickly.
I'm not the front man yet. Not the front man.
So I was with them a couple years before I even played them or showed them anything.
Okay.
And a couple of my songs do really gel with the feel that we go for. So one of my songs, November Song, ended up on the new album.
Nice.
And we're not going to play it today. That'll be a secret hidden treasure for those of you who snag the album.
Well, I tell you what, maybe we better get to this Canyon Bound right
Absolutely.
now.
Let's
so
do it.
This was written by
Travis Atkinson, who is the Deep Greens and Blues frontman, for lack of a better
excellent
term.
Blue. Let's listen to Canyon Bound by Deep Greens and Blues.
Headed down the open highway, never thought about looking back, only thought about doing it my way. To the road is a dusty track, dusty track. Love was a long past saving. My heart is burned up good. Spent a long time just sitting, waiting longer than I should. Let me drift away. Silent desert sound. How watch stars and moonlight fade to sunrise, where the mountains meet the ground. I'm canyon bound. I'm just a Roman one-man army at the bottom of an empty sea. I look around and I find myself alone, and that's right where I wanna be. This I escape where it's fade too gray, far away from the neon lights that burn down to the silent desert sound. I watch stars and moonlight fade to sunrise, where the mountains meet the ground. I'm canyon bound. Running like a river, falling like the sun, flying like an eagle, unloading like a gun. Running like a river, falling like the sun, flying like an eagle, unloading like a gun. Running like a river, falling like the sun, flying like an eagle, unloaded like a gun. Running like a river, falling like the sun, flying like an eagle, unloaded like a gun. Far away from the neon lights that burn down to the silent desert sound. I watch stars and moonlight fade to sunrise, where the mountains meet the ground. I'm canyon bound. I'm canyon bound.
You are listening to WAWL 103.5. This is Walk the Beat. If you have just tuned in, we are talking with Ben McNeil from Deep Greens and Blues. That last song was Canyon Bound, and it was killer bound, man. That was good stuff.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's just a catchy tune, and you know it right away when you hear it, which is cool.
Exactly. It doesn't take anything to get into that song.
And it's fun to write music like that. Where you're writing it and you're thinking, okay, this is pretty accessible. You're not, you're not trying to do anything fancy. You're just
having a nice good time with
absolutely.
A lot of good musicians, and your mandolin player is keeping that thing rocking. And
that's Matt Young from the Sweet J band, Sweet Japonic, out of Grand Rapids. So he was one of our guest musicians in the studio that just totally added,
you bet.
Him and a couple other guys who I'll mention in a little bit added just a ton of flavor to the album.
Such great harmonies.
Yeah, and that's really the core of our group. And Travis has done such an awesome job at pushing us so far to become, vocalists. And Kelsey actually already was. Kelsey's the only one of us who's formally trained. She's got a music degree from Hope. So
how sweet.
So she's a true professional, but
somebody's got to know what's going
aspiring,
on, right?
Vocalist,
Somebody has to know how to run the
exactly
thing. But it's so nice when you have somebody that knows about harmonies and stuff that can direct and be right there and say, okay, wait a minute, you're off a little bit.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have people. There's so many people that aren't into music that go like, she knows how to harmonize. It's not that they just know how. You have to be trained.
Yep,
you have to train your ear. There is work involved with every note on this song, on every song. And our big thing is to try to get people to understand there's a lot of work involved with it. You own 2 businesses, correct?
Yes.
Which, if anybody was self-employed, understands that when you're self-employed, that means you get to work all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Every day is a
week.
work day. You bet. And if you could add another day, it would be great so I could catch up on my freaking taxes.
Yep.
But then to have to still go out and really work. You're not just playing music. You are really dedicated to making this sound correct.
Yep, absolutely. And for this album, Chasing Horizons, that's coming out here, it's the product of 9 months in the studio, basically, and of course in and out of the studio because we all have day jobs. But it's funny. I'm glad you brought up the work-life balance and between business and music, because it's always the times when you think, I don't have any seconds left in the day to do this. You get home and you're tired and you don't want to take a shower and then go back out and play a gig till 1 a.m.
Right.
But it's funny because that's actually what energizes you.
I know it's
when you're the most tired.
Sword.
It's when you're the most exhausted, and then you go out and play music, and that's what it's all about. That's why you're working. So
because when you're playing, all of a sudden you forget the tired, and
absolutely.
You forget all the other stuff you got to do in the morning, and you actually can get into your own little world and share it with others at the same time.
And that's the best part. Seeing people connect with your music is the most rewarding thing for sure.
I love it. Well, you guys are definitely doing a great job. And like I said, I hope you're putting in for best song again this year.
Oh, we will. Yeah.
It's going to be a gas.
I feel like Nintendo Justice. We're going to try to win it this time.
Well, hey, how do we get a hold of you guys? Do you have a Facebook? Do you have a
yep, absolutely.
Reverb Nation?
Yep. deepgreensmusic.com is our website, and we're just revamping that, so it's going to be really fresh going into 2016.
Good.
Facebook, Deep Greens and Blues on Facebook, and we post all of our events.
Nice.
We post our events on Band is Town. It's one of those, and
I haven't heard that one.
All that stuff. So
here on WAWL, you just learned about that new site. There you go, cutting edge.
But yeah, we're all over. We've got our schedule on our site and on Facebook, and we do Instagram and all that good stuff.
When you were recording this was recorded in 2015 or 2014?
Yep, this was all 2015. So we started early spring 2015. We did 4 tracks kind of earlier in the spring, and then summer the gigging schedule got really busy, so we kind of picked it back up in the fall and finished it off.
You're playing out quite a bit?
Yeah, we average, 1.5 times a week. We played about 60 shows last year. So
Nice. That's a good.
it's enough.
That's
enough.
a lot for being self-employed. Also, most bands don't get to play 60 times no matter what.
No, and it's not just me. Everybody's got, everybody in the band has day jobs, and
of course,
Travis and Jason have kids, and so yeah, it's certainly a balancing act, but it's something that I've mentioned this before, but our wives and significant others and supporters and family, everybody's very supportive of us, of the schedule, and we certainly have to make sacrifices to make it happen.
Oh, absolutely, because there's still life going on.
Oh yeah.
And that's what usually gets in the way of the music.
Yep.
It's like, I was going to play music, but life showed up, and I'm not. But let's get to this next song. What are you thinking about for another tune? So
the next one that I think, if I put the songs in the right order on the CD, which I think I did, the next song is called Love in the Darkness. And this is quite a contrast to many of the other tunes on the album. It's a little bit darker. It's very, very mellow. It's basically just piano. You'll hear a little bit of brushes on the snare drum, and then some bass, obviously. But Love in the Darkness is something that Travis wrote truly just about the dark times in a relationship, whether you have a girlfriend or a wife or any other relationship, but the dark times in a relationship and how, love kind of powers through those times and gets you through. But it's a beautiful song, and I have to credit Craig Avery from Brenna out of Grand Rapids. He played piano on this song for us. Nice. And it was interesting because he's another one of those phenomenal players that we brought into the studio. And Travis had the music kind of written, but none of us play piano. And of course, right. The piano guy is always the one who they come in and nobody else knows how to play. So you say, just, kind of do this. Whatever, and I kind of want this feel. And Craig sat down, and I think he did it in one take, and it was beyond anything we could have expected. And I always say that this song is his baby because, he brought it to life.
Right, right.
So anyways, yeah.
Well, excellent. So who all is on this song, and what are they playing?
So it would be me on drums, Craig on piano. Travis does some really cool kind of tremolo electric guitar during the bridge. And then you'll hear 3 vocal parts if you listen closely. Travis will be singing the lead part, Kelsey is up high, and then I am in the middle.
Excellent.
No, I'm low, but I guess so it's 3 of us singing the entire song together. Nice. Which was a labor of love for sure.
Great. Well, I tell you what, we're going to share this with everybody right now. Bleu, please play Love in the Darkness by Deep Greens and Blues.
I don't see clearly where we are going. The nights are no different than the days. The path is untraveled. The clouds swallow moonshine, and the light cannot reach all this way. Blind like a fool, afraid to ask questions, for the doubt simple questions convey. No one said it would be easy, but no one said it'd be so hard. Let this love fight through the darkness, holding out hope for a hand and a heart, taking steps with no direction, inches away and oceans apart. In my darkest hour I choose you, I will not lose you. Hearts without passion, new kinds of lonely. Is this the love for nothing, destined to settle. Tears bleed a silence free. Stark is the contrast to living room portraits. Life is not all that it seems. Promises made in the sunlight will not be lost in this place. Let this love fight through the darkness, holding out hope for a hand and a heart, taking steps with no direction, inches away and oceans apart. In my darkest hour I choose you, I will not lose you. We fall apart, wounded and broken, a battle of scars. I will lift you up, I will give it up, I will live my promise to you. Let this love fight through the darkness, holding out hope for a hand and a heart, taking steps with no direction, inches away and oceans apart. My darkest hour I choose you, I will not lose you. I will not lose you.
You are listening to WAWL 103.5. This is Walk the Beat. We are at Third Coast Music with Ben McNeil, the drummer for the band Deep Greens and Blues. The last song we just heard was Loving the Darkness. Man, you guys are really working on your vocals big time.
Yeah, and again, I'd credit to Travis for not only writing the material, but then pushing us to believe that we can do this. Yeah,
correct. And you can.
Yeah, and he really pushes it out of you, and that's what a leader does. He'll come to us with these things, and he'll go, "Oh, come on, give me a break. We're gonna spend 2 hours in practice learning one song, but then you go and play it live." And people, if they know music, they appreciate the work you've put into
how much time is going into this.
Yeah.
When you get, just to get people in the same room, I keep trying to tell anybody out there, call up 5 friends and try to get them in a room once a week.
Yeah.
Or twice, and then play out together and still get along.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. And we've all played enough music to understand, just the fact that we have committed this much time to each other is special. And then on top of that, because I've played in, 30, 40, whatever, hundreds of different musicians. And not only are you making that time commitment, but then you're playing on stage and you're like, wow, we're actually friends. I actually like these people.
This is a gas, man.
That's kind of a joke for a lot of people who play music. I mean, a lot of people you play with you don't like, or, it's just like.
No, that's not true. Everybody gets along with Van McNeil. I can tell. But I know every now and then, especially if something, what sucks is that every now and then something comes up, there's 4 of you in a room and you're going, God, you should, and somebody's doing, it's like being married sometimes when there's that little thing that's kind of bothering you, but you got to gloss over it.
Yeah.
You got to gloss over it, and everybody gets together. And that's one thing I love about music, is that it can bring these people from all different walks of life, all different viewpoints of life together.
Absolutely.
And get along and still make beautiful music for the rest of everybody. It's gas, man. I just can't. I'm always trying to relate to people that are listening how cool this stuff is.
Yeah, it's very special.
Yeah. So thanks for producing all your music and getting in there and doing all your thing, man. You got quite a bit of stuff lined up for next year, do you?
Yeah, we've got quite a bit. 2016, what we're trying to do, we played so many shows last year and it got a little bit exhausting. And what we're trying to do is pare back the number of shows that we're playing, but really focus on booking meaningful shows.
Like Walk the Beat.
Like Walk the Beat,
in
exactly.
August, on August 20th.
On August 20th, Walk the Beat. No plug. Yeah. No plug here.
No, never.
Yeah.
But you guys do want to play.
But exactly,
which is beautiful.
We're planning on it, and those are the types of venues in shows that we're really trying to go for, where people are there to appreciate, and it doesn't always have to be original. We play a lot of good covers too, but basically appreciate good music, and they're there to listen to music.
Exactly.
You get sucked into playing so many things where, you want to play a fair, and there's kids riding a Ferris wheel over there, and there's a pony show over there, and by the way, you're going to play it right here, and
we're sticking you between the corn dogs and the balloon shot or whatever.
So we're focused on music events this year.
Nice. So. And you know what? There really is a huge community of supporters for musicians.
Yep.
I think what we end up with is a ton of musicians, because it's always when someone goes out to see a live performance, it gets other people that aren't involved with music involved, and next thing they're playing.
Yep.
It inspires them. They're going, I'd love to get up there. Not everybody wants to be on stage. There's no doubt about that. That's what makes it work. But there's so many musicians around, it's hard to have enough listeners all over the place. If you got 1,000 places playing music, we would really like to have at least 10,000 people coming to listen all over the place. But it's hard to fill up a venue sometimes because they're scattered all over with all the other talent.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to our original point about, just West Michigan in general. There's no shortage of talent around this area, and it's a beautiful thing. It's awesome.
I love it, and I love that you're part of it, and everybody else is part of it. Blue, should we get on to this other song? We have the last song. It's called "Live It Up." I got a feeling you might be, sending us out with a big hurrah.
This is kind of a booty shaking song, and we just wanted to. This is, again, kind of goes back to our lighter side, and there is a message here. Travis wrote this right after he lost a job a couple years ago, and thankfully he's employed and very happy now. But,
good.
But anyways, it was him writing a piece that just says, there are certain times in life where you get down, and if you pay attention to all the terrible things going on in the world, you could certainly make a decision to just give up.
Correct.
But push on through, live it up.
You bet.
It's just a fun song.
Excellent. Hey, Blue, we are ready to listen to "Live It Up" by Deep Greens and Blues.
Break free and live it up whenever you can. Live it up, follow the rhythm and clap your hands. Live it up, only got just a little time. Live it up, before we got to leave this earth behind. 'Cause existing late in love, we got to live it up. Every day people coming home with all kinds of terrible news. A diagnosis with a bad prognosis. Now you walk a mile someone else fill their cup and live it up. Live it up whenever you can. Live it up. Find a rhythm and clap your hands. Live it up. Only got just a little time. Live it up. Before we got to leave this earth behind. 'Cause existing ain't enough. We've got to live it up. 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 Live it up now, baby. Come on. Live it up now. Live it up. Live it up. 'Cause existing ain't enough. We've got to live it up. So when the wind and rain and hurt and pain are all trying to take you down, remember you got soul, so take control. Go on and make a happy sound. Make a brighter day. Smile and laugh and hope and breathe. As long as the clouds stop the sun from shining, you know you got to find that silver lining. Live it up. Live it up whenever you can. Live it up. Find a rhythm and clap your hands. Live it up. Only got just a little time. Live it up. Before we got to leave this earth behind. 'Cause existing ain't enough. We've got to live it up. Live it up. Live it up. Live it up now. Live it up. You got to live it up. Come on and live it up now. Yeah. 'Cause existing ain't enough. You got to live it up.
You are listening to WAWL 103.5. This is Walk the Beat. That was Live It Up by Deep Greens and Blues. Ben, that was a fantastic song.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a fun one.
You have been living large, haven't you? I know. I really do love that song. Live It Up it's really gonna. It gets people out of their chair. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, it's a fun tune. We it was fun to record and love playing it live. And just again on that tune too, you've got Matt Young on lead guitar from Sweet J Band, and I think somebody's on Stefan Copenhaver on fiddle. So again,
Nice.
it's us, and then so many great players, and we had so much support through this entire project, and that's
Nice.
what really makes it happen.
Well, great players like to hang with great players. There's no doubt.
I'd like to think that for sure.
So I know that you're a great player because you're hanging with some special people, and thank you very much. So one more time, how can we get a hold of you if we want to hear some of your music?
So we've got a website, deepgreensmusic.com, deepgreensmusic.com, and that is, again, it's going to be revamped here in the next couple weeks. You can buy both of our albums on there, contact information. That's really the best spot. If you're into Facebook,
Excellent.
That's great too. Deep Greens and Blues on Facebook. Reach out to us for bookings or, we can do it all on the web.
Excellent. Thanks for stopping in.
Hey, thank you, Dave, so much, and Bleu and Dave and everybody here. It's been it's certainly special to be invited here, and we appreciate your guys' support of local music because
thanks.
there's
Thanks.
it's sometimes a thankless job to be promoting local arts, but we certainly appreciate it.
We're full of thank yous, man. Thank you, and thanks to Bleu VanDyke for the sound that he provides every week. Dave Darling, our videographer, has been so nice to start videotaping this now. Don't forget to check us out at, I think Eric at WAWL will be able to upload our videos soon. You can also check us out at the, I think it's walkthebeatradio.com, and we'll have these things uploaded there too now. So,
awesome.
Hey, everybody, don't forget to listen local.
The Walk the Beat radio show is recorded in Grand Haven, Michigan. Production and engineering provided by Bleu VanDyke. Featuring your host, Dave Palmer.